Yeah, good morning there. This is for those of us who are just trying to get into the flow of what we're doing. You know that when we started, many people were not with us and a lot of people joined us along the way. So I noticed that there's been a gap, and this video is supposed to bridge the gap for those of us who are still trying to find ourselves in the flow. From the very beginning, the idea was to use the lockdown period to accomplish the things that we've always wanted to do that we did not have time to do, either because of work or because of school. We know that the COVID-19 pandemic has made it necessary for whole cities to be quarantined. And so in Lagos, Ogun State, where we are, and the FCT, there's been this quarantine that started on the 23rd of March. And then it got extended to end on the 3rd of May. And we're not even sure if there's going to be another extension. But I want us to take the statistics. From 23rd of March, when this started, to the 3rd of May, it will be exactly 40 days. So 40 days is a long time for us to do something with ourselves. And I was thinking that it might even just be simple things as little as cleaning up our homes and sorting out our things. Because if we don't do this, we can entertain ourselves all day, and then we realize at the end of the day that we've lunched around and we've not been able to do anything. So I had a couple of projects. First was the wall canvas that we did, and a lot of us saw the wall canvas. It's been an idea I've been carrying for a long time. This gave us an opportunity to be able to implement it. And there are some other projects like that. So I want to itemize some of those projects so that some of us who don't know what to do will be exactly clear about what to do. Other projects that I had lined up was using the time to catch up on the works that I had left pending. So I told myself I will reduce my pressures with this period. I'm going to clear off my desk, put out everything that is on my table, and then I'm going to start working on a collection. Because we had a collection that we had it pending because of the pressure of work at the time before this pandemic started. So I was excited because this would give me time to go back to the collection and then make it ready for the dates that we want to release it. So, and then I had my little boy in the house that's been at home from when the schools were closed. And then I like, no, this guy has to be engaged. How do I get engage this child? And then we had children also in surplus who were attending Bellat. And also we had students who were attending the regular courses. So I look at everything and I'm like, if we are not properly engaged, we can just waste this time. A month and 10 days is a lot. And we're not even sure if if more is going to be added to it. So what do you want to do personally? What is it that is uppermost in your heart? Are the rooms in your house untidy? You want to sort them out? How many things have you had waiting? Okay, we as a family, we have a plot at the backyard in my house. It wasn't cleared. We would usually pay for someone to come clear it. So I said, everybody, we are clearing the yard. And we did clear the yard. So that's what we are talking about. Do you have things pending? And then we said, we want to come in community to do these things so that as you're doing those things that you have had pending, now that we have extra time, we want to use it to accomplish it. Then as we're sharing it every day, it will encourage every other person who has been sitting down to get up and find the courage to do the thing that they have wanted to do. But more importantly, this even translated into something more. Because as this time began to come and I began to read the things that are going on that people are posting on the media, a lot of things came to my mind. And as the time got extended, I said, okay, my housework is done. What am I going to do? And I realized that I have a business. This is the time for me to withdraw and strategize for my business. Because after COVID-19, there's going to be a life after COVID-19 pandemic. So what kind of life is it going to be after COVID-19 pandemic? How is my business going to fare? Now, I have a fashion business. When people are coming, food is upmost in their minds. then clothes and fashion might be relegated. So how am I going to play? Then it requires a time for strategy. So this went to another dimension, thinking about the next level for my business, and then about the next level for my life. I needed to get perspective for it. So I'm just bringing out these life examples. I don't know where you are. Maybe you are an undergraduate, a secondary school student, looking for a job, a self-employed person, a CEO, an executive, a startup business, a young adult, a believer that has not had time to, catch up on your spiritual life. All of us, no matter what level of life we are at, it's either something that has to do with our personal development or something that has to do with strategy to take our business to the next level. So this moved. It moved from catching up on everyday routine to, planning strategy and getting myself set for the next direction that life is going to take after this pandemic. So that's what we're talking about. If you are on this challenge and you haven't thought about those things, it is time for us to sit down, itemize the things that you want to do, and then put a time that you want them accomplished. As you accomplish them, share it with us so that everybody can see what is happening with you and we can get encouraged by your own action. Then we can be mobilized also to action. So on this group, there is no one who doesn't have anything to share. We are not sleeping, we are doing something. So whatever you're doing. And then another thing that as we started this group that I realized is that accountability is very, very important. Now, if we're doing something and we're doing it without structure, our outcomes will not be very great. We might not accomplish as much as we want to accomplish or as much as we can accomplish because we are not measuring what we are doing. So if we just wake up today, I just wake up, I feel like reading, I read. Tomorrow I wake up, I feel like sewing, I sew. The next day I wake up, I feel like drawing, I draw. There is no goal, there is no target. Our goals need to be specific. We need to know that, okay, the date we have now is going to finish on the 3rd of May. I don't know if it's going to be extended, but by the 3rd of May, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what I want to do in this space of time that I have. And then you tell everybody, okay, I've done it, oh, look at what I did. This is what I accomplished. And then we all get encouraged to do just like you. And you can tell, you can feel that you have made progress because you set it for a particular time and then you accomplished it within that time. So whatever we're doing, they need to be, we need to be measuring our attainment. So they need to be performance index. If we don't put timeline to it, there will not be performance index. But if we put timeline to it, okay, you say, okay, I wanted to do this design this week. I did it this week. And then you tick it. You know that is accomplished. You feel accomplished. You feel motivated to go on to the next thing that you want to do. So if all of us on this platform, if you haven't done that, I want you to bring out a piece of paper. We have plus a week, like 10 days. We have 10 days between now and 3rd of May. So plan yourself between now and 3rd of May. If it's going to be extended, we'll know what to do. So if it's not going to be extended, make sure that what your plan, is within this period. Then bring out the paper, write what you want to use this 3rd of May to do. I want to use Esther Oke's example. Esther is somewhere in Ogun where it's difficult to get internet network. And she has to find a particular spot on trees where she can get the internet to connect to this challenge. And Esther, I am very, very encouraged by your determination. And I want to commend you for that. But you see, even not being in such an area is not an excuse. Because, like I said in the first video, the greatest inventions we have had in the world have come out of seclusion. It came from monks who were in monasteries, secluded for months and years to come out with an outcome. So it's just the perfect place for you to concentrate, to be away from the bubble of the city, to focus on what you want to do. What you need to do right now is pick out a paper, write the things you want to do, and then the time you want to do them, and get focused on it. You're lucky that you don't have all the distractions and the paparazzis of the city to distract you. So please let me have a list of what you want to do and then focus on it. If there are resources you need that you can't find, then we can reason together and find out if there is other ways that we can improvise it. Because you see the wall canvas we made, I called somebody to come and give me a quotation to do it. You know, it was going to cost us more than 100,000 to do that canvas if it was done by a professional. And then everything that we did was home sourced. Do you know that the stones that some of the stones that were used for that canvas, you know, we had to pick them out of the pieces of clothes that we have made before. These are some clothes, materials that we have, pieces from work that we have dumped to be burnt. We had to bring them out and remove the stones on them. That was part of what was used to complete that work. It was a material that we had at home that was used. Then it was our gas. There was no light at some point, so it was our gas that was used to iron it. There is no excuse. Everything that we used to do that thing was home sourced. The plywood that was under that place, we used it to cover somewhere before at home. Then they pulled it out and we kept it. So we brought it out and used it as a base for that canvas. And when you see it, you will never know that it's from scrap material in the house that we used to do that work. So if you have challenges, let us know. Then we can brainstorm and see what improvisations we can do to help you accomplish what you want to accomplish. That's why we are in community. So you can just get idea from someone who had been in the same situation with you before. So I want to encourage all of us on this platform, if we are, we're just reading what is happening and we are not yet applied to what is happening, please, I want us to know that we are not only depriving ourselves, we are also depriving those of us that will be inspired from what is locked up within you. I want us to all use this time. You see, I read something. I wrote it down so that I don't forget it. I read something and I wrote down this question. So what will these 40 days of quarantine produce for you? What will it bring for you? There's a transition going on unknown to many. Use this period of rest to see visions and birth dreams. Maybe you're a business startup here and you don't have, the level to which that business can grow will be only as much as strong as the structure and the structure of that business and the system that is holding it up. So if you've been doing it the day you wake up, how you wake up, it may just be the time for you to put structure to what you're doing, to brand up yourself for what you're doing, so that it's the way you brand up yourself, that's how people are going to receive you. That will be the level of the business. What about strategy? What about structure for the business that you are doing? Maybe Beauty is doing groundnut. Do you know that there are groundnut companies, there are peanut companies that have been in the world for close to 100 years? We eat their peanut butter. Yeah, we eat their peanut butter. If it's in the house, you can even just go to the fridge. Then you will like eating bread because you just pick up the peanut butter and then you spread it on it. So, can you see a 50-year plan of what a groundnut business is going to become in your hand? That's what I mean when I'm talking about strategy. So that's why I said, even if you're an executive, I had an executive one time who works with Coca-Cola and Nigerian Bottling Company. He was at the top. And then he told me, Obi, I did exams and I passed innovation, but I failed creativity. And he said, I want to branch out, I want to do something out of my field to inspire myself. So he came here, he wanted to learn fashion. To do what? To inspire himself. He said, my wife is the creative type, but I think I need some wiring for creativity. So I want to push myself out of the normal norm. Can you imagine a big executive coming here to learn fashion? But he had a purpose to it. He wanted to inspire himself. So maybe there's this thing, we're doing a small business by the side. that business is not going to become a corporation unless we strategize and put the right structure to it. Everybody is talking about the fact, asking questions as to why African businesses don't survive the second generation. And one of the things that they've identified is the structure and the systems. So if we're doing, maybe you're self-employed, do you want to do the business and finish and nobody can continue with that business? You should be able to employ many other people with it. And you should be able to run if you're not there. So this period is, instead of us to just be laboring, this is the period to put structure so that we can get to the point where we can actually own the business instead of us just being self-employed. So, and maybe you're a student. Challenges. In fact, we have a customer and she told me, she said, they're in the US. She said, my children are home, they're not going to work, they're not going to school. They just do the assignments and we send it to their teacher online, and then she marks it and gets back to us online. And you know what happened? Like, God, do you know that our children here are just home? Nothing happening. But those children over there, even though they are not physically in school, their educational program is still running. Their teachers are still online, taking their students online. So, even if you're a student, I watched a video by Adiola and she talked about when she went to the US 17 years ago and what the system was then, and Nigeria has not even gotten up to that system right now. So we have a lot of challenges. The time that we have now, maybe it's the time for you to do online courses. It's the time for you to improve yourself in areas that, academic work will engage you, you will not have time. But now that you have the time, and I'm not saying it's the day you wake up, you Google this one, Google that one, Google. No. You should have a structure as to the things that I want to learn. Maybe I want to improve my IT skill. I want to be able to do research. How do I do research? I want to learn about research. Give us the areas of focus you want to improve yourself on, and give us the time that you want to use to accomplish it, and then tell us what you want, the objective you have, how you want doing that thing to advance you, and then let us measure your index, your performance by the index. Okay, this is the time she's supposed to do it. She did it at that time. Great. This is what she wants to, the improvement she wants in this area. Okay, she has gotten it in this area. Great. That is only when there is performance, when there's measurable index, that's when we can know if you're making progress, and that's when development and growth can come. So finally, I also saw something here. It said a group of theologians thinks that the number 40 represents change. It is the time of preparing a person or people to make a fundamental change. And then they give an example that the Exodus, for instance, when the children of Israel were coming out of Egypt, it was supposed to be a 40-day journey from the Egypt to the Promised Land. But a 40-day journey ended into a 40 years journey. And unfortunately, none of them were able to enter except Joshua and Caleb. 40 days journey into the wilderness, that period was, lost and inorganic. They all died in the wilderness, basically because they couldn't make the change and mental shift required. They were crying to go back to Egypt because of garlic and cucumber. A lot of people are tired of staying at home. They just want this to end so that they'll go back to work. And meanwhile, I want to ask, the work you were doing before, what was it producing? Can you not produce more? So we have the opportunity of a 40-day period of rest to reinvigorate, re-strategize, rethink ourselves, and relaunch with new levels and dimensions of operation. And then we're busy saying, this time I'm tired, let's go back to work, and all of that. Meanwhile, when we go back to work, we start crying, I'm tired, let's go on holiday. So they rather longed for the garlic and cucumber and were willing to go back into a life of slavery because of garlic and cucumber. Now, this is what happens when options are limited. And options are limited because we aren't diligent to make the changes and shifts required to get us from where we are to where we want to be. We need to make the change. So this 40-day period it's a period of rest. It's supposed to be a period of strategy. It's a transition, because the world is going to enter into another level after these 40 days. And there's so many things that are coming, that life may take other turns than what we have always known. So if you're not prepared, if you're not ready, you may not even be able to play as you should in the next level that we're entering to as the human race. So this 40-day period, please, I want everyone, if you're still booting, please let this video help you to finish booting and get a perspective of what you want to do. By our next meeting, please, I want everybody wired up and sharing the things that we have put down as targets for ourselves. I hope this video makes a lot of sense to you, and I hope that it brings some help. But I think I've gotten across what I want to get across. Thank you very much.